Yo.
You are now listening to the smoking section.
Oh yeah.
Where you'll find hot topics.
And fire conversations.
Keep it locked.
You hear me?
What up, podcast? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is having a fucking amazing day. I'm super excited, super juiced right now. Been getting a lot of good news. Recently have been in contact with Mr. John Phenom. If you guys don't know who John Phenom is, he is a very well-known brand consultant. He's helped a lot of other brands. He has a huge YouTube channel. You guys should definitely go check that out. It's John Phenom. And he always posts a lot of quality content, especially for people who might be getting into the fashion industry or wanting to create some kind of fashion brand or something along those lines. So I'm super juiced about that, but just talking about that and thinking about that made me want to touch on a topic with you guys today. First thing though, I want to give a shout out to Safe Port Hueneme. Going to be providing some really good smoke to me, man. They got the best herbs, I feel like, in Ventura County. Everyone who knows me knows I'm a big time, 420 connoisseur, and yeah, man. So they've been having me really stoned here. So we definitely want to give them a big shout out. Going to be smoking today on today's episode, so please do not mind me. But I want to talk to you guys today about something kind of personal, but it's something that I hope that everybody, can relate to when I explain this. But it's the devastation that we go through when we lose a loved one, and what it can do for us, though. It's always looked at such a negative connotation, but if you can take the positives out the situation, even the small amount of positive out that situation, you could really use it to flourish. As everyone knows who knows my story, and for those who don't, my dad passed away in 2016, and I was my dad's biggest fan. I looked up to him in every aspect, everything that he did with my people, the Native Americans, the way that he raised us, the way that he showed us how to look at life. I really admired that man. When I was 18, I got into some trouble that made our relationship, the father-son dynamic, really strained. And so I spent, the next 6 years after that, up into his death, trying to correct that. So I really fell into that. And when he died, my whole world went for a loop. A lot of us, I've said this a few times to people who I've talked to about it, and I want to say it here is the craziest thing wasn't the craziest part of it wasn't the day he passed when I got the phone call. I think the craziest was the next day. Our whole lives, we always think about oh my God, the day my parent dies, or the day my, auntie dies, or my grandma dies. I don't know what I'm going to do. We always think about the day of, but we never ever take time to sit down and be like, what am I going to do the day after that? Or the day after that? Or the day after that, And it was crazy because I remember when I woke up the day after, I stretched, and the moment reality hit me, I could feel it. I could feel the truth of the actions and the events of the day before that had transpired. I felt that truth seep back into the next day. And it really gave me a feeling as if I had woken from a dream. That if I didn't know that was still, when you have a dream inside of a dream, and then you wake up from that one still in a dream. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it felt like. And I never really understood the vastness of when people said that, it felt like a dream. That shit felt like a dream. Holy smokes, this can't be real. Now, losing my dad was only the start, you know. It brought a big family together. You know, I have 7 living siblings, and it brought a big family together, and there was a lot of differences and stuff that we had to hash out and stuff that we had to resolve, you know, my father's estate and everything else. So, shortly after that, I launched Corpse Collection, which is my clothing brand. And it was something me and him had talked about all the way up until the day he died. And it was something, his death truly motivates me. His loss of his life now is reborn into my business. It's like I can watch him grow. It's like watching my son grow, you know? It's a part of my dad lives in my company. A part of him lives through every single fabric and thread on every shirt. And so I say this to say to people, don't allow your shortcomings or the obstacles, don't let it hinder you, let it inspire you. You know, people only get big obstacles because the universe knows that we can truly climb it. The universe puts these things into our life because it knows that we can handle it. There's no situation in life put in front of us that we cannot either get through or get over. So I just want to let people know, no matter what you're struggling with, no matter the loss, no matter the tragedy, you can come out on top. You can bounce back. You just have to be patient. Allow yourself to mourn, feel the pain, feel the anguish. Let it seep in and let it hurt. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel pain. In the moment you allow it to go into your DNA, you're going to live a whole, complete new life. Losing a parent was more than just losing mom or dad. It's losing a best friend. It's losing a sense of confidence and losing your safety net. So people always talk about getting into business like, oh, you got to lose the safety net. Oh, you can't have the safety net. Oh, you can't think about plan B. When your parents die, you slowly realize that life is not about plan B. So I hope everyone can relate. I hope everyone who listens takes the time and tries to understand this connection that I make between the loss of a parent and how I look at business, and the way that I look at life. The loss of a parent doesn't mean that we get to stop. That doesn't mean that the game is over. That just means we got to work a little bit harder. No more timeouts, no more, no more. It's just life, and it's just us. So the more that we can learn to depend on ourselves early in life, the better that we're going to do in the long run. So everybody, don't wait until that day. If your parents are alive, don't wait till that day. Don't wait till that day to appreciate them. And don't wait till that day to get yourself set up for the day that it happens. And for the people out there with parents that are already deceased, whether it's one or both, your tragedies don't define you. Your tragedies don't mean that you're not worthy. Your tragedies should be your strength. It should be the fire and the fuel for the fight. All right? I hope everyone has a beautiful day, blessed week, an amazing year in life. This has been the smoking section, where we bring you all the hottest topics and greatest conversation. Let me know what you guys want to talk about next, all right? And if you guys can, please give me a rating on whatever platform that you guys are listening to this on, whether it's Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, it doesn't matter. Even if it's 1 star, please, those comments, that engagement, it helps so much. Thank you guys. Stay motivated. Bang.